You know, it's funny that NSYNC was all buy, but the Backstreet Boys were like, I don't care what you did as long as you love me. It's as if America felt like it needed a boy band for people with standards and a boy band for people who are desperate. Couple of bits of news. First off, that pricing thing I did yesterday worked big time. Really big time. I would say it at least doubled what I was probably going to sell. Now, you're only really going to know over the long run, but I mean, it could be that there's some novelty to running a sale, but if you do it forever, people get really used to it and it's not a big deal. But people generally don't say that that's true, so we'll see. Second piece of news, the whole thing of doing the 20% recycled material is very mixed. This is working fine, but this is not, and that's no good. If you remember, the blue dots had no recycling material, and everything that was a blue dot printed very well. This was some older filament, did not work out. It's on the other side, but this is blue dot, came out perfect. Orange dot, no worky. This is an orange dot roll, and it actually did work. It's just that the bed adhesion wasn't good enough, which that's on me. I mean, the whole thing's on me, really. I don't know. But I think we're gonna try something else. Another difference between all the things that worked and all the things that didn't work is the things that worked included colorant. So I think we're going to go 10% recycled material, and we're gonna add the colorant because it could be acting as some kind of a bonding agent or something like that. I don't know if I already showed these, but this is a couple of ukulele holders. Put the cardboard around it to make it extra secure. And that's gonna be going to one lucky customer. Just packaged a bunch of stuff. We've got another frog dish here. People love these things. I don't know if it's getting old me saying this, but that discount thing is working. I'm selling like a stupid amount of stuff. Now here's a classic. This is my Moai headphone stand. It's one of the first ones I ever made. If I had started this series, honestly, like I should have, 3-4 years ago, you would see me shipping so many of these things. It's one of the best selling things that I've ever made. In fact, I think I was one of the first people to ever use stone finish on something like this, but now everybody does it. Printed a bunch of stuff and packaged a bunch of stuff and painted a bunch of stuff. Now it's time for Fei. Might go to the thrift store as well. I actually did lower the prices of everything in the store a bit, usually by about $5. For a long time, I had a bunch of people tell me that I should be charging more, and I did that, and it worked for a while. But I would say that sales, if anything, dipped off. And so like I've kind of lowered my prices to what they used to be. And it's gonna be interesting to see if like my sales go up dramatically because of that. In other words, I shouldn't have listened to those people. I should have just kept my stuff basically as cheap as possible. I kind of worked on a margin that was still pretty good, but also sort of undercut anybody. Since I can make things so much cheaper, I can charge less and do as well as my competitors do. And I don't know why I ever stopped doing that, honestly. Here's a marketing tactic that I wonder if anybody's done. To me, this is kind of a scummy thing to do, but I wonder if anybody's actually done this. What if you had only some of your listings discounted, and like you would make listings that are similar to the discounted ones that are like way more? As in, let's say you had 2 items that are similar, not the same, but similar. and you charged 50 bucks for one, and then the other one was 50 bucks too, except you discounted it like 40%. I wonder if people would look at that and be like, wow, he's selling the other one for 50 bucks. I should buy this. I hate that like e-commerce has become like this. In the old days, it's like nobody did crap like this, but this is kind of how it works now. I wonder if anybody's actually done that strategy before. I don't know if you guys realize this, but a good example of what I'm talking about, you know those like things that get advertised on podcasts, like Raycon earbuds, get 20% off with this offer code. All they're doing is just marking up their product 20% and then saying you get a discount. Like, it's always 20% off. That's the normal price. It's just a manipulative thing that like all these companies do. And like, I hate that we're in a situation where there's so much incentive to do that, but there is. My favorite place. Oh, what is that? I'm so curious. Wow, it's so horrible. I kind of really want it. Wow, that's nice and horrible. Not the best day there today. They had a tank top in there that was sort of cool, but it was like for some team that had a Native American mascot. And I'm not that much of a sports guy. I have no idea who they are, and I'm not trying to get canceled, so we're gonna pass on that. I'm not saying I'm unwilling to get canceled, but it's gotta be for something good, man. All right, we're doing this. No more tears. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Now that I have been caffeinated properly, we are going to make a 10% mixture. And we are also going to add colorant, and hopefully this gets a pretty consistent result. We're gonna mix this up, and then we're gonna add colorant, because I feel like that might work as a bonding agent. We've got the full-size David trash can here, and this guy's gonna be metallic gold, which will be pretty straightforward. You just gotta clean them up. A little bit of stringing here and there, but that's going to be a gorgeous piece for somebody right there. The code for 10% recycled material plus some black colorants, which you can see is really making it quite jet black. It's going to be a purple circle, and I'm going to attempt to put this on a moving object. There we go. All right, this guy's ready for painting. So it's late. This is probably gonna be the last thing for today, but I'm gonna show you something you haven't seen before. So this S5 is the newest one. By the way, you can't buy Creality S5s anymore. They're not manufactured anymore. So it's very, very, very hard to get these. But anyway, it messed up a bunch of prints, and it even messed up with the blue dot, which is the filament that has no recycling material in it. So, yeah, I kind of took that apart. What we're gonna do, sometimes when I fix the Bowden tube and I replace the nozzle, and I do that a couple of times, and it still doesn't work, what I do is I replace the entire hot end, like completely. You know that scene in Predator where they all start shooting the same direction? Like, that's basically what this is. It's like I could replace the heat cartridge. I could replace like the fan and stuff, although you can usually clean that. It could be a lot of things, but you can get this entire assembly for like $20 to $30 typically. So you might as well just replace the whole thing, and that's what we're gonna do. The only modification I make to one of these stock hot ends is to cut off this little part. Basically, I should have shown you beforehand, but this sticks up about like that. But what I find is if you leave it where it sticks out like this, plastic tends to get caught on this. This is called a silicone sock, by the way. So I cut this off so that plastic doesn't kind of start attaching to it. Obviously, if you get one of these and plastic starts sticking to it, it's gonna mess up the print. The purpose of a silicone sock is it regulates the temperature of the hot end. A lot of times it'll overheat or fluctuate too much or something without this. I mean, sometimes you can get by with it. But the purpose of the silicone sock is largely met, even if you do cut off this little bit, like I did. But yeah, it doesn't really hurt to cut that off.